I've always thought that the monster form of Monster Girl was more attractive than the human form of Monster Girl.
Hello and welcome to the Invincible podcast, probably the best superhero podcast in the universe. This is a show where friends get to sit around and talk all things Invincible, a comic book by Robert Kirkman, Cory Walker, and Ryan Ottley. On today's episode, we're talking all about Italy, New York Comic Con, and Volume 14, The Viltrumite War. I'm one of your hosts, Ryan. Joining me is Bill.
Hi, Italy?
And TJ.
It's TJ.
Yeah, we've actually got something Italy regarding Italy to come up.
Interesting, okay.
Yeah.
News to me. I'm excited.
How are you guys feeling a couple days back from New York? You still feeling a little sore?
It took me a full day to not feel like utter shit from the lack of sleep. TJ?
Well, I still have not gone back to work, which is nice.
So lucky you had a week off after.
I had 4 days off after New York Comic Con. We're recording on a Wednesday. I don't go back until Friday morning, which is nice. So I feel like I have fully recovered. There's still a lot that I have to get done. I'm not working, but there's shit I'm doing on my computer. So yeah, it's not bad. I've pretty much recovered though.
Mm-hmm. Mostly it's my shoulders and back that are still really bad.
What time did I get dropped off? It was 1.
It was a little after 1.
It was a little after 1 o'clock.
I didn't get home until almost 2 o'clock.
So I got dropped off at 1, and I had to work at 8. I had to be to work at 8 o'clock in the morning. That sucked.
Yeah.
That was the worst.
I could not get up. I didn't even go until almost 10 o'clock. I went in so late.
Yeah.
But
it beat the shit out of us. It was fun though.
Oh yeah, we had a blast. We're gonna talk
last day of walking around New York City. We'll talk about it.
We'll talk more about that. We are the Invincible podcast. If you want to be a part of the show, or if you have any kind of feedback or anything you want to tell us, feel free to write in. You can write to us at theinvinciblepodcast@gmail.com. You can find us on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Spotify. You can even find us at theinvinciblepodcast.com. We are also the Oblivion Song podcast, and tonight is a crazy night because we are actually going to be recording both episodes back to back.
Too much.
It's a lot.
Too much.
It's a lot of recording.
I don't want to do it.
So we are going to try and move along at a nice clip here and
glacier pace.
Yeah, we're going to try and get this whole thing knocked out in record time because then we've got to go on to record Oblivion Song podcast. So, in fact, speaking of the Oblivion Song podcast, we are going to be talking about more of our New York Comic Con adventures on that podcast. So we're not going to cover all of it. So if you want to hear the rest of it, go check out the first half of that episode and stick around for the whole thing because Oblivion Song is awesome.
It is awesome, but I just saw we're doing what DC and Marvel does. It's if you want to find out what happens to Spider-Man, read the Spectacular Spider-Man.
Yeah. It's Invincible and Wolfman.
I feel like we need
Part 1, Part 2.
We just need an overall name for ourselves. You know what I mean?
Like how Nerd Chatting can have a name to
yeah.
I know I've thought about that in the past. How we really should have just come up with a name for our podcast and then it have separate podcast networks within or separate shows within one network.
What if Kirkman comes out with another title that's amazing and we want to talk about it?
I know we would have different podcasts under one brand. I don't know what it is.
So it could be like a multimedia format kind of thing. What if we call ourselves Prestige Worldwide?
That's taken.
That's Step Brothers?
I know it is.
Yeah, all right.
So yeah, let's get right into Invincible related news. The first thing I got is, it's actually 2 things. I actually have it under my notes as Italy gets the goods at Lucca this year, which I don't know when it is, but for the last
Lucca like a convention?
It's the convention in Italy. For the last 2 years, they've been really promoting Kirkman, Ottley, Cory Walker, and all things Invincible and Oblivion Song and everything like that. Well, at this year's convention, there's going to be a new variant for an Invincible issue.
It's a book.
Is it a variant to the? Well, they call it Invincible Monthly, which is basically they're releasing the comic over there now, and it's in the last 10 or so issues, and so I think it's a variant to an issue. But it is drawn by Ryan Ottley. It has Mark and Eve on the cover with Tara trying to straighten the Tower of Pisa.
I did know that, but that's not what I thought you were talking about.
Oh yeah, not that. Yeah. So this was an issue, and what's cool about it is it's colored by Annalisa Leone.
Invincible?
So, yeah.
Oh,
so
wow.
it's an Invincible variant cover
by the
Ottley.
colorist who does Oblivion Song.
This is what it's like when worlds collide.
And also recently announced Sal the Press, the company that publishes all the paperbacks and trades and volumes and even the issues, I think, for Invincible over in Italy, is releasing a limited edition hardcover, and it's called the Collection of Invincible Covers.
Which is like what we want.
Oh, that's cool.
Isn't that the coolest
There's
thing?
not anything like that.
No, there is a Walking Dead one, but it was only up to like issue 50 or something.
I know we're only 20 issues in, but I want that for Oblivion Song. Because
Right?
the covers for Oblivion Song are just like...
Imagine a
make me
nice
sick. They're so
hardcover
good.
that you flip through and it's all the covers, and it says including some variants. And just flipping through and seeing all of them, it's limited to 300 copies.
Holy shit.
That's not a lot at all. That sucks.
300?
Yeah,
Wow.
I know. Hopefully, this is a sign that something like this could happen over here in the U.S.
Yeah.
But who's to say? It's really weird with Italy. They've gotten like posters.
all the
They've
good
gotten
shit, man.
They've gotten like gold foil Invincible issues. They've gotten some really cool
They
looking
got
stuff.
all same. I mean, again, I don't mean to keep coming
No,
back to
it's-
Oblivion Song, but like they get all the hardcovers that they get
Yeah.
are sick,
Yeah.
and they like
that
the first.
black and white Oblivion
yeah,
song
black
from,
and white
that
one.
one's from France.
But even they even like I have the hardcover regular Italy version of Oblivion Song, and then another special edition that came like in a sleeve, and it came with prints of
That's
the
the
first
black one?
5 covers.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
first 6 covers.
Italy's doing some good shit over there.
Damn,
I know.
I want
I
it.
wonder what the comic culture is like over there. Do you think it's bigger? Because it sounds like if they have like more diverse
there's a market
collections,
for
stuff
it.
like that. There's an actual market
I'd be
for
curious to find out
it.
whether
You
or
think
not
that
it is.
in America it would be like
If this
as
news had
much
come
as-
out a week ago, we could have asked Kirkman or Ottley or something like
Yeah.
that and been like, "Yo, what's the deal with Italy? Why is there such a resurgence of interest in Invincible and Kirkman and stuff like that over there?"
Yeah.
It's interesting though.
They go over there once a year.
That's what I mean. Yeah, it's this convention, isn't it? Like, I want to say it's June or so.
It felt like it was just a few months ago. 'Cause
Yeah.
I remember seeing all of them were at a table. Otley, Kirkman, wasn't Lorenzo
Lorenzo,
was
Annalisa.
there too, yeah.
Annalisa.
Annalisa, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so the next and final thing I want to bring up in the news section is just a shout out to a YouTube channel called Comics Academy. They did an incredible review of Invincible, all of Invincible. It's like a half hour long. He covers just it's relatively spoiler free. It's intended to be like, hey, if you're interested in Invincible, here's like an overview of the whole thing. Here's the characters. Here's something about the locations. And it's edited really well, and he did a really good job. So go check that out. Search Comics Academy over on YouTube or even Twitter, and go give that a watch.
What it's called? Comics Academy?
Comics Academy.
Oh,
You
okay.
looking it up?
Yeah.
But yeah, you'll like it. It's really good. In fact, you'll know the Let's Talk Invincible account. Vince over there actually helped edit some of it. So that brings us to our main topic. We're doing good on time. We went to New York Comic Con.
We did.
We did. Stayed in a little hotel room in Jersey. Got stuck in the Lincoln Tunnel on the first day for an hour and a half. Had the full New York experience.
I talked about this last year when I went, and my opinion stands the same. However, it wasn't as bad. Is I love New York Comic Con. I'm not a city person. Not like New York City. I feel is like as city as you can get. Like that was like. I don't know. I just don't. I could never live in a city, and just being there for 4 days, I was kind of done with it. Last year was a lot worse than this year. This year wasn't as bad, but still.
I kind of the opposite. Other than a few, great things that we got to experience at the convention, I didn't like the convention that much. I did not enjoy it. It was way too busy, way too crowded, way too hectic. The way things are done with, getting bands for signing or dealing with CGC was frustrating. And I like walking around the city.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't want to live in the city, but walking around the city with you guys was probably one of the best parts of the whole thing. Again, except meeting Kirkman and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. In my opinion, like, that feeling of going out to pick up that pre-ordered game or like waiting in line to get that video game, you know what I mean? And then being like, oh my God, I hope I fucking get it. Oh my God, I hope I fucking get it. And then like there's 2 people ahead of you and you see a stack and there's like 5 left and you just get it back in the day. Mm-hmm. Comic-Con was like that, but with you missing the game and literally every single thing that you wanted to go to, like what I was most disappointed about. First of all, I had fun. I had.
Oh no, we
had
had a great trip.
Yeah.
Like, it was a lot of fun.
But the thing that sucks is that like, just because you're at Comic-Con doesn't mean that you can go and do anything, which sucks.
We didn't go to a single panel.
No.
Oh.
You know, we watched a couple things on the live
We went to Super
stage.
Dinosaur. We went to Super
Oh,
Dinosaur.
you're right. Okay,
Yep.
Super Dinosaur. Yeah.
So
The one we
like,
wanted to go to most.
Like, it
but-
was a little bit too wait in line for 4 hours to then be disappointed and not get what you want to get. You know what I mean? And then also be in a very crowded area.
Like I was telling Katie, my wife, about it was a lot of high highs and low lows. You know what I mean? Like it was all surrounded by a million people. But
Yeah. I think if you go there, if you do New York City Comic Con and you don't really have any like intended purpose to be there, you just kind of want to go and experience it. It's fun. Like the last days when we were there,
those were the best days.
Yeah, because we weren't waiting in line, we weren't like rushing to get somewhere.
Yeah.
It was just like, let's just fucking experience like this for what it is.
Yep.
And it was a lot of fun.
I think if we had stayed closer to the convention and not had to shuttle to Jersey, and just being able to like, I think if I were to go
Come and
again,
go.
I would want to just stroll in after it opens, not have any plans except for like maybe one thing a day, go right to that thing. You know, I don't know. Overall, I enjoyed it though, and it was a lot of fun. I don't even know if we've ever done anything like that with the three of us. You know, anything more than a day-long trip.
We've gone camping together
We've gone on cruises.
where there have been
Yeah, but
no
not
people.
just the three of us.
Right.
The
Oh,
last time with the
just
three of us was probably camping at TJ's family cabin, and that was 10 years ago.
Yeah, probably more.
So it was a lot of fun. So obviously the highlight was getting to finally meet Robert Kirkman in person.
In person, yeah.
Obviously we have spoken to him before and on episode 50.
Which almost didn't happen. Like, it was very last minute that Kirkman decided to go.
We didn't
and we
even
were
know
like
he was
really
gonna go.
nervous. I was like, he's gonna go, guys. Like, he's gonna go.
And then
he
it got
hasn't missed
like
the New
a
York
few
Comic-Con.
days.
It literally was like what, like a week or two before.
A week or
last.
less.
I
And
feel
he
like it
was
was less than a week.
And then they
he
said
got
that
announced, and we were like,
signing.
oh shit, okay, good. Like, because of Super Dinosaur.
Yeah.
Because like that would have like
Can you
literally
imagine
the
if there was
one
not
time-
even that?
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, it was. I mean, we'll talk about going through and our experience meeting Kirkman and everything like that.
But yeah, that's
But
I mean,
there was no Invincible news,
no.
which kind of sucked. Because I mean, that was like the first. This is like the first time that we all like. I went last year, and we thought for sure that this is going to be the year we find out stuff. And
Well, the problem was we had to buy tickets,
And, like,
6 months in advance.
I had to get mine in March. You
Yeah.
guys got yours in I think June or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so like we were kind of rolling the dice that maybe this would be the year that New York they show off something. So yeah, that's a little disappointing. But as it got closer, we kind of accepted.
I'm pretty
that-
sure I said that the show would be out like in a couple months.
in the fall.
Like yeah, like
I think we were thinking spring.
yeah.
Yeah,
I think you said January of this year.
Yeah, but that's just me being like,
yeah.
the most fucking hopeful that I could ever be.
Well, we did ask him about it. I mean, we finally got to meet him. It was great just walking up and like TJ, you saw him last year. And he's like, "Oh, where's Bill and Ryan?" So it was great
Yeah.
to finally like
Meet him as a group.
have the three of us there and be like. There was even a moment where my brain shut down because he even asked. He's like,
He's like, "That's all you guys got for me? Like, ask me some more
It
questions."
was just overwhelming. you know
Yeah,
what I
it
mean?
was. I didn't think that I could be that starstruck, especially with someone whom we've talked to before.
Yeah.
Like on the podcast. But like you get up there and you're just like smiling, like the fucking like it reminded me of like he was Santa Claus and we were fucking Ralphie. You know what I mean? And you're
Yeah.
just like standing there like with
That's
a
a
dumb
really-
look on your face, like
That's a
just
good example.
sign this book.
Ho, ho, ho.
Yeah.
So yeah, we pulled out some comics and I had him sign the that Invincible poster that I have.
Which you made fun of.
Yeah,
He's like, look at this old,
yeah.
like he was like, looks like shit.
Yeah.
This old poster. Yeah.
You had him sign Super Dinosaur,
Yeah, I bought. So Super Dinosaur premiered the day after.
like the day we got back.
Yeah, the day we got back on
Sunday.
Amazon Prime. And at the panel we went to, we got to watch the first episode, which was really cool. But so I bought all 4 trades that are out now.
This was before the panel.
Yeah, this was before the panel, to have him sign something for Riker. And when I showed Riker, I was like, Riker, look at this. This is for you. And he's like, cool. I was like, and I had the creator sign it. And the look on his face.
Really?
Oh, dude, it was so... Because I
Aw.
FaceTimed him. And he was like, he he like got it. He was like, holy shit, the person that like made that signed it. Like,
Yeah.
whoa, that was like crazy for
I
him.
remember
Too bad,
being a
Jason.
little kid and thinking how like how cool an autograph is.
Yeah,
you
like
know?
a baseball card that was
Yeah.
like signed. You're like, look at my cool baseball card. You don't even know fucking
We
know
say
who it
that
is.
like I remember being a kid and like really like
Meanwhile,
autographs.
we
we
literally
spent
just
like
signed
half
it.
the time there.
No, but like
standing
the
in line for
magic of
autographs.
something that was signed.
Yeah.
And the
No, yeah, I
rarity
know.
of it.
I
You
know.
know what I mean?
I asked an Oblivion Song question, which we'll talk about on Oblivion Song.
Yeah.
But one other question I asked him was, I noticed a similarity between Invincible and Oblivion Song, which is like Invincible. I told him like there's a lot of things going on, but overall it's a story about a father and a son. And Oblivion Song is about two brothers, and if he did that, like consciously doing that before starting a series, and he said he did. He said that he wants the
I mean, even
the audience
the
to
little bit of Super Dinosaur that I've read / watched, it's a son and his father.
yeah. So the father is a scientist. Yeah, so he does that because what he said was almost everybody has parents, almost everybody has siblings. It's something that they can relate to, and family is something that he likes to incorporate into his stories, which I thought was cool.
Yeah. I asked him like, how does writing for the animated show compare to writing for a live action show or even to a comic book? And he actually said it was pretty much the same as writing for a live action show, except where you don't have to worry about the budget. So if you want something to explode or if you want something to look crazy, it's a lot easier to do. He also said it's a lot easier writing for a longer episode than something that's like 30 minutes, because you just have more room to flesh out the story.
And then,
But obviously we brought up, so what's going on with the animated series? He said, that it's going really well. They're just not ready to show anything yet. TJ, I think you asked, is the movie still happening? He said Seth and Evan are busy,
they're doing other stuff,
but it's still happening. He said it's still happening.
Come on, Seth.
But then he laid down some facts, and this was painful. We've been pronouncing things terribly wrong.
Oh yeah, this was something that he brought up.
Oh yeah.
He was like, and just for the record, here's how you say all of these things.
So,
Can you hand me something that's over there, a water or something?
Here you go. You get a water. I hope it's tasteless.
It's
So-
it's actually very good.
so in the
It's
past,
flavored water.
we have called Onan. TJ, how do you pronounce Onan?
Onan.
It's Onan.
Onan.
Is it Onan or is it Anan?
That's one.
No,
that
that's
I,
said
that-
Onan.
that's
He did
one that
say
I actually
Onan.
put in the computer to pronounce, and it is Onan. Like it's Onan.
I mean, so it's ONAAN,
Well, think
which
of
would
like
be on.
think of if you were to buy naan. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like the bread, it's naan, and then Onan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It makes sense. That one makes a lot of sense and makes me feel really stupid for saying
Yeah.
There's
on it.
more than that makes me feel stupid.
There's worse ones.
Yeah.
There's
Can we
much
talk
worse
about the worst one?
No, not yet. We're
All
building
right,
up to it.
All right.
Flaxon is flaxen.
I feel like I have always said flaxen.
Really?
Always,
Yeah, TJ did. Yeah, because I always
Really?
hated the way that he said
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Flaxen.
Flaxen.
See?
In fact, today on the Comics Academy review, he called sequids,
Ah.
and I don't know if nobody's ever called us out on that
I
one.
feel like we have said sequids.
No, that is 100% you.
Wait,
I have
we were
never
making fun
said
of it.
that.
Wait.
We were making fun of it. We were
You
saying
were making fun
sequids.
of me for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sequids.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I am. I will.
We say
But that's right.
I say sequid.
we say sequid. Yeah.
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 I'm pretty sure Ottley said sequid.
So who's right?
We don't know
Ottley.
that one. That one we don't have any confirmation
Kirkman didn't
on.
say anything. He didn't.
But yeah, he didn't call us out on that one. The hardest one, not the one that we were the dumbest on. There's one that is very hard to change, and there's one that we were very dumb about. The one that was really hard to change
Is really hard to change.
is Angstrom Levy.
I'm already kind of getting there.
You
I've been saying it a lot.
I've been trying to do it in my head.
So the
correct
pronunciation is Angstrom Levy.
Yes, Angstrom Levy.
Angstrom Levy.
Kirkman said it was actually named after a teacher of his, right?
High school gym teacher, right?
Something
Was it gym
like that.
teacher?
Yeah.
I don't know if it was Jim. I
don't
think
know
it
if
was science
Jim.
teacher.
I thought it was
actually.
science.
Yeah,
Which
it's
would
science
be-
might have
teacher.
been.
Which
Yeah.
would be appropriate.
Yeah.
So Angstrom Levy, that's gonna take some work.
Okay.
I feel like I've almost got there now.
In doing the homework and reading the Viltrumite War,
Isn't there one other one before the one you're gonna say?
No.
Didn't he say?
Let me look. I wrote it down.
Wasn't it? What didn't he? But maybe you missed it when you wrote it down because you weren't writing
might
it down
have.
live. Didn't he say that we were saying Anessa wrong?
I don't think so.
No.
No,
No.
No.
I swear there was more than
Onan.
this Because he was literally
Onan,
like, this is
Onan,
wrong, this is
Flaxen.
wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong.
No, I mean, we brought up Viltrumite, but we knew that one.
Yeah.
You ready for this? The biggest offender, and we've been called out, I want to say recently, like we recently brought this up. Thaddeus. So there's a character named Thaddeus. If you actually look at his name, that is not his name. All you have to
it's
do
not
even a little
it's
bit.
not even close. How the hell have we gone on for like 3 years?
All three of us, and even Mike, who was on the
Trivia.
Invincible Trivia. Like, nobody...
Brittany, Liz, how many people have we stupidly... We
Yeah.
added letters to his name.
Oh yeah.
There's some kind
Syllables
of witchcraft
and-
in that name, man.
It just doesn't
It's like
make sense.
it's like one of those social things. What's it called? Where like everybody believes that something happened,
Yep.
but it didn't happen. But it's just the three of us.
So the correct pronunciation is
Thaddeus.
Thaddeus.
Yeah.
Thaddeus.
Th-
Which
It
we made it 3 syllables.
Thaddeus.
Thaddeus.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just Thaddeus.
So wrong in so many different levels. Like
It's not even close. Like
Yeah.
that one. I mean, Levy. I mean, I get that one.
yeah, it's the sequids.
Yeah.
Like all of that stuff. The Viltrumite, that's stupid too. Why is it called Viltrumite? It's Viltrumite.
that was dumb.
There was more than that. For sure there was more
think
than
there was
that.
another?
Oh, yeah, there was.
Well, maybe by this time next year we'll be offering up another
Guys,
apology.
I fucking told you.
So after we finished the signing, we walked away, all excited that we had gotten a chance to finally.
Well,
meet him.
this is funny, and if Kirkman's listening,
Oh,
then
man.
because we wanted to talk about everything that happened, and I was like, can we go around the corner and not geek out in front of Robert Kirkman?
Yeah.
So we went around the corner, and we were there for maybe 5-10 minutes, kind of
Not
talking
even
about
like
it.
5 minutes, yeah.
And then I pulled out my phone.
Because you wanted to call Liz
Right,
and
and
tell her about
I
it.
called Liz. I was like, hey, Liz.
Liz from the New Reader podcast episodes.
Yeah, my wife, yeah. So I was talking to her, and I'm like, oh, listen, this was so cool, So I'm walking, and all of a sudden, I feel someone who's a whole head taller than me, by the way.
The hat pulled real low.
Hat pulled real low, right in my fucking left ear, saying, who are you talking to? Who is that? Who are you talking to? So I look, and it's Robert Kirkman in my face. And we're walking. So I was like, oh, well, here you go. And I just handed him the phone.
What was going through your mind? You were just like, oh, you want to know who I'm talking to?
Yeah, I felt a little bit looser then, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I thought it would be funny because Liz has heard Robert Kirkman speak before.
Yeah.
She's listened to the podcast. So I thought she'd be like, oh, no shit, Robert Kirkman. Apparently, we walked...
It was a good 2.5
3 minutes, yeah.
Yeah, it was
We
a
walked
while.
with Kirkman all the way to this meeting area that he had to go to.
We went down the escalators.
Yeah, while the whole time he was on the phone, we couldn't hear what he was talking about.
I know he grabbed the phone and he said, oh, hey, Lizzie.
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh, because my phone,
he looked at it?
he looked at the ID,
Oh,
yeah.
probably.
So what I got the phone back from him. He was like, all right, guys, thanks so much for, it was a good meeting. I was like, okay, see ya. So then and Liz was like, who was that? And I was like, she was like, that wasn't Robert Kirkman. I'm like, Liz, are you fucking serious? That was Robert Kirkman. So then we convinced her, and asking her what she said to him, one of the things that he said was like, oh, you were on the podcast, as the new reader. And this is what she said. She was like, yeah, but this isn't Robert Kirkman. To Robert Kirkman over the phone. So she felt real stupid, but...
Yeah, I mean, afterwards we told her no, it really was,
Yeah.
and she felt bad about that.
She still feels really stupid. It's one of those things where you say something stupid to somebody on the street and you can't stop thinking about it.
Yeah.
That's how bad Liz felt about this.
She texted Katie right after and was like, "Oh my god, I can't believe I just did this." It was funny.
Yep.
So yeah, after that, and meanwhile, we had met up with Xavier, a listener of the show. He's written in multiple times, so we got to hang out with him. We also got to meet Jose. TJ, you met Cosmo. Both Bill and I missed out on meeting Cosmo.
Yeah.
And then James, we saw him at the Super Dinosaur panel. So it was awesome getting to actually meet listeners. Bill, you've never had like that kind of experience before, especially at a convention, someone coming up and recognizing who we were, which was super cool.
It's stupid. It's
weird.
It's very humbling.
It is.
Yeah,
It's very humbling. Yeah.
And so
it's crazy.
we went.
It's really cool to know that other people listen and that we can meet them afterwards. It's crazy.
And so we went to the Super Dinosaur panel. Kirkman went up, gave a quick introduction, and we watched the whole first episode, about 20 minutes or so. What did you guys think?
I thought it was great. I thought it was awesome. I have 2 concerns though. My one concern, I said, well, like, I worry that they used a lot of big words, and I'm hoping that that's going to help more than hurt. Like maybe like they want kids to learn bigger vocabulary, but I don't want them to also have that deter kids from watching
Learn
it.
bigger vocabulary.
Hence,
Maybe you should watch the show.
I do. I have watched it. My other concern is that I went on Amazon. And I tried to find it without searching for it. And then
Me too.
And literally you couldn't do it. It's not under new, it's not under kids, it's not anywhere.
Yep.
Then I tried to search for it. And I typed in SUPER space nothing. DINO nothing.
Really?
SAUR and nothing until I hit enter. And then even after I typed in Super Dinosaur and hit enter, it was the second one.
Really?
It was the second one.
For me, I did literally, TJ, the same exact thing. I knew you were going to talk about that. Like, so I typed in Super Dino and then like S, and it still wasn't up. Like, you know how you stop typing and it like auto-populates?
Because you assume that's
there were things, Dino Dan, Dino Dana, like all these things that don't have the word super in it popped up.
We are going to have to like try again in like a week. Maybe it's
I'm
something
hoping
because
it
it's
changes.
new.
I'm hoping.
It needs to like show up in algorithms and stuff like that. Hopefully.
Right.
But yeah, that kind of stinks.
Riker's very excited.
Did you guys watch any more other than the first episode?
I want to watch it with Riker, but we told him that he's not allowed to watch the show until he finishes reading the comic. So he's finished the first volume so far.
Really?
And he really likes it. He finished the first volume in like the first day of me handing it to him. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yep.
I started watching the second episode. I haven't finished it.
Yeah. I've just been super busy. I haven't gotten a chance after coming back with work and everything. But I thought the first episode was a lot of fun. It is certainly aimed at kids.
Oh, it's definitely, for children.
Kids.
I want to get my niece into it.
It actually does, and I didn't know this, it actually does the really cool thing where it breaks through the panel. You know, I mean, you got the black borders. It actually
makes it look 3D.
Yeah, certain things pop through and it looks 3D. It's actually really, really neat. And I don't know. I'm excited to watch more. They just released a mobile app for it today, too. So we'll see.
The thing about it, too, is that the sound editing in it and the action in it is actually really well done.
Yeah.
Like it could have been where we were, you know what I mean? But it was in a big room and it sounded kind of echoey and stuff like that.
The room, the speakers in the room were not good.
Yeah, but so I mean, even just with the speakers not being great, like for that kind of area, it was really well produced. Like it's not a cheap looking show, you know what I mean? It looks awesome.
Yeah.
So,
but I think after the panel, which was kind of cool, Robert Kirkman was doing a Q&A and people were going up asking questions, and one person, like as he was going up, Robert Kirkman was like, "Oh, who's this guy?" And he was like, "I wonder who it could be." And it ended up being the voice of
Super Dinosaur,
which was really cool.
Yeah, it was neat. That was the guy that was actually in front of you, because you went up and asked a question, Bill.
Yeah, like how am I supposed to follow that? Like I'm standing behind this guy and he's like...
And you were the last person.
Yeah, I was the last person and I'm standing behind this guy. I'm sure he tried to be the last person, but whatever. But so I asked Kirkman, the main thing I asked him, one, I was just being an asshole, and then the other one was if his children, he or Jason's kids, had any like actual say, like did they say or do anything or give a suggestion that made it into the comic book. And through that conversation, we learned that Robert Kirkman's son came up with the name Dinosaurus.
Yeah.
Like, they were just playing with dinosaurs, and Kirkman was like, oh, mine's this one. And then his son was like, mine's Dinosaurus.
Yeah.
How
appropriate, too, that you got that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was great. That's actually how one of the people recognized us. Because I was like, oh, yeah, me and TJ fight about Dinosaurus all the time. And then James came up afterwards and was like, oh, I heard TJ, and then knew it was a podcast. So, yeah.
When you say Jason, you mean Jason Howard, who also was the artist on Super Dinosaur, who was also the artist on Astonishing Wolfman.
He's co-creator with Super Dinosaur.
Yep.
So he actually, he created it with Robert Kirkman.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's about it for New York Comic Con 2019. Now the question remains, when are we seeing something next? We had planned for so long that it was going to be New York. I mean, the obvious answer is San Diego, but like,
we always go to the next one. We always go to the next one. So it's always like, maybe we'll hear something in San Diego, and then we don't. And then it's like, but we're going to hear something in New York, and then we don't.
Exactly. But we also always talk about how they always just randomly reveal stuff on a Tuesday in May.
Yeah, they do.
So we'll see. In the meantime,
let's hope for a random Tuesday in May.
let's hope for sooner. All right, so that does it for the main topic. We're going to go on now to the rereader, and this is going to be Volume 14, The Viltrumite War, covering issues 71 to 78.
I will say this was a struggle for me because everything with New York Comic Con and everything that's been going on this week and us doing this and Oblivion Song on the same night, this is the longest trade paperback that we have done
really long.
thus far. It is 8 comics and one of which is double-sized.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit. Yeah, it was a struggle.
Totally. I had the same struggle.
You didn't read it, did you?
Yes, of course I did. Everyone
Never
knows I
read it.
read the rereads.
These are some of my favorite.
Not a struggle because it's boring or
Oh,
because
no. We've just
literally
been
it could
slammed.
be it is anything but boring.
I will say, I just finished it this morning. I, in the past, did not give this story arc enough credit. I always knew it was good. You know, issue 75, yeah it's awesome. Like, I feel like I haven't read it. I mean, obviously I read it. The last time I read it was probably for the new readers. But I feel like just having it all, like these 8 issues in one, it's just such a good arc. It's so good. These are some of my favorite covers as well.
As well.
Man, just wait till the end, towards the end of Oblivion
Vocabulary as well.
Yeah, I just loved how they've got the main image and then the bar with the image along the bottom.
One of my favorite splash pages of all of Invincible is in this trade.
Is it?
Yeah.
Cool. All right, issue 71. Again, there's a couple things I want to call out, and we just started. The flaxen flag, I think is interesting because it is very similar to a Viltrumite logo.
It is.
Huh.
And we knew that Nolan went there.
I mean, it's circle. It's a circle.
Yeah, it's a circle with a line with a break in the line.
It looks like
Right.
an
which is
H.
kind of similar to a Viltrumite logo, which is also
You could see it
Similar
living in
to
the
an
same
Omni-Man logo.
world. Like if they were part of the same, like,
But
you
like,
know.
if that line wasn't there, it's almost an Omni-Man logo.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, like it's very similar to that. But I don't know, just something interesting. So they're fighting the Flaxens. Mark's phone goes off, and this whole scene is retold in Guarding the Globe as
right.
drawn by Ransom Getty.
Yeah.
And it's really cool looking at that trade paperback, at that issue, and seeing his interpretation, because it's the same fight choreography, it's the same like shot for shot angles and everything like that, but in Ransom Getty style.
Yeah. Actually, we
Fun.
met Ransom Getty when we were there. I actually got a couple
Yeah, we
Invincible
didn't
related
mention any commissions.
commissions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll be posting them. I'll be retweeting any ones that you post, so keep an eye on our Twitters for that. I'll post some of the Invincible sketch cards I got. But yeah.
Yeah.
So Mark gets a call from Eve. While they're fighting the Flaxens, she said that I think it's the shopping mall, needs him, and he suggests that you just send Oliver or someone because of the whole Invincible Inc. thing. But this was the scene in which they, while the Flaxons are fleeing after they start aging, Robot and Amanda, Monster Girl, end up diving into the portal going to the Flaxen dimension.
Isn't this the first appearance of the Robot Buster?
The Rex's big.
The big one like that?
The Hulk Buster? I don't think that it's been...
Didn't we see that when the Maulers helped him transfer his brain into the clone body and he showed up and like the door opened up and there was the big one?
Like, so in the background?
Yeah, I don't know.
Not like-
I feel like,
this feels like a reveal. He's like...
I
He's
think
like,
it's
Robot.
the fact that...
Britt said, Robot, which one are you in? And he goes, the one with leg room.
Yeah,
and
you're
it's
gonna
like
hit
the
the one
huge...
with more leg room.
And then it shows like him in like a huge robot.
I think the cool reveal about this one was that there's the smaller one inside that one that he is in.
Yeah.
Like Iron Man and the Hulkbuster.
Yeah, yeah.
Which came out before. But, I mean, comics-wise, you don't know. I don't know.
So yeah, Robot and Monster Girl flee into the Flaxen dimension because they know that they're just going to keep coming back and it's smarter to go after them and stop them that way. And we don't see them for a very long time. Which is convenient because we're not going to be on Earth much longer anyways. So let's see, moving on. Oliver ended up stopping the Lizard League at the mall. Alan and Nolan, because previously we had seen that they showed up at the house and said it's the time for war is upon us. Like, it's time to go fight. Alan and Nolan are at Zach's house looking for Tech Jacket.
Fucking Tech Jacket.
Yep. He's up in the space station with his dad. They go to recruit him. Then there's the moment where Mark and Oliver and Debbie are at their house, and Nolan just shows up. And this is the first time Debbie's seen Nolan since he left Earth, way back in issue 12, 11.
Wow.
12. The fight is in 12.
He left Earth in 12.
Yeah.
That's how it ended.
Mm-hmm. And so, very emotional scene. She basically says that there's nothing you could say to make me stop hating you. Nolan says, I meant nothing I said that day. She says she'll never be able to believe him. And he says, I understand. I'm sorry. That's the last you see of their conversation until much later in this. The next page, we get the beginning of a really great friendship between Alan and Tech Jacket. Nolan goes up to Mark's bedroom where Oliver is. And previously, Oliver was going to stay behind. But after Nolan talks to him for a couple minutes, he decides that by Oliver going to help, he'll have more of an opportunity to get to know him better and to talk with him and everything like that. So he changes his mind and says that Oliver can come along. Mark goes to say goodbye to Eve. There's a great scene with the two of them together. She hasn't told Mark that she's pregnant, and they talk about how he might not be coming back from this. She doesn't want him to say that. She's clearly, very upset about him leaving, and the idea of
she doesn't want to be a single mom.
I mean, she doesn't even know if she wants to have the baby at all. You know what I mean?
She just doesn't want to lose Mark.
Right. Yeah, it's a lot. Yeah, and so there's a really, really great scene with the two of them in bed. And that was it. Then Mark leaves Earth, and we don't go back until after the war. They board the Star Trek spoof shuttle, and they are on their way to Telescria, I believe, right?
Are they going to Telescria?
I believe at this point they are.
Yeah, they're going to Telescria.
Yeah, I'm sure.
They're going to see...
Not a problem, but spoil the coalition. Yeah. Alarms start ringing out, and what do they call? They call him Data? No.
No, he's Data in the show.
Yeah, they call Data something else. What do they call him? It's something like Data. Shoot, I forgot. They say it again later, actually, I think. Yeah, but anyways, the ship gets destroyed. Mark is in the main cabin, which detaches. So Nolan and Alan are actually in the destroyed part of the ship. Mark demands to find an airlock. Otherwise, he's just going to make his own hole. They fly out of the ship in search of Nolan and Alan, and then Mark sees him.
Holy shit.
How cool was this moment when you first read it?
Conquest Part 2.
Yep.
I mean, you knew...
I like how...
But, just the fact that it zooms in on Mark, and all you see is, it's him, close up of his eyes, and he says, no,
you knew that it was
him.
coming, but I didn't... I remember reading it thinking that it was not going to happen that quickly.
There'd be more build-up or something like that,
right,
but, knowing that here you see him, and the next issue is going to be a fight. There's nothing...
I love this page because it's popping out of the panel, and it looks cool. Mm-hmm. And Conquest has a brand new arm.
Yeah.
I love that.
It goes from
purple on it, doesn't it? Doesn't it have a purple light on it?
Yeah, it goes from gold to silver.
Yeah, that's sick.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got some Viltrumites with him.
Oh my god, these covers.
Yeah, it
Issue 72.
Looks like he has Lucan, and I don't ever remember this guy's name.
I thought he was the one missing an eye.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's not Craig, though. I always mixed him up with Craig. This guy is something else. This is the one with the crazy receding hairline. But I don't remember what his name is. Yeah, these covers, man. Look at how good Conquest looks in this cover.
Is this FCO?
Yes, it says it.
It is?
Yep.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, yeah, it is.
I think it's a different inker on the cover. See that name under Ryan?
I don't think... Did FCO didn't do the colors in the comic, did he? Just the covers? It looks different.
FCO did the colorist for all of chapters 71 to 78.
Oh, okay.
So this whole arc, FCO did.
That's Cliff Rathburn.
Yeah. But you see that name on the cover underneath Ryan? Mm. It looks like vines. I can't make it out, but so yeah. First page. Conquest. Oh, Mark, it's so good to see you again. And I see you've brought friends.
Oh my gosh.
Oliver charges forward. Lucan goes after Mark. I love freaking Tech Jacket. This whole arc, Tech Jacket's like, oh, I kind of thought there would be a briefing or something. What do I do? Do they have a weak spot?
I remember being so scared for Oliver this entire time.
I remember feeling scared for Zach.
Just
Tech
about
Jacket.
Almost all of them. Like this, it was so tense feeling. Yeah, Conquest bats Oliver away. You'll make a nice warm up. Nolan comes out of the ship, flies into the fight. It's cool. I always forget that Nolan and Conquest interact.
Uh-huh.
You know, it's always such a Mark and Conquest type thing. Conquest gets a kick out of Nolan saying that, what have I done to deserve such fortune? I get to kill you too.
Is that when he headbutts him?
Yep. Headbutts Nolan, breaks his nose. And it's a lot of like each other tackling the other guy away from them. Let's see. Tech Jacket got his face bashed in.
Yeah, so that's scary because that's the last panel of the page, and he gets backhanded in the face, and he's a human in this Tech Jacket, and now his face mask is gone.
Yeah.
And so it shows like Alan comes in and like knocks the Viltrumite away from him. And what does he say? Yeah, I'm fine. My helmet can repair itself. So it's like barely repairing itself now.
And
it has
you see,
like a force field.
You even see it shows up. It says repairs 80% complete. Like it's fixing itself.
And they're at this point they're kind of holding their own too. Like it's not not one way or the other.
Yeah.
And like there's a moment that
which is crazy because it's basically 3 Viltrumites against like what 5, 6 of them.
Yeah.
Mark, Oliver,
4,
Nolan, Tech Jacket, Alan.
5
of them.
Yeah, so, but there's a moment where Oliver comes in and is helping Omni-Man, helping Nolan, and Nolan looks at Oliver and he says, I'm impressed. Because he's kind of kicking ass.
Yeah. Oh, but then then those aliens show up. Yeah. Now, this alien race is seen in, like, issue 2, and it's also seen in, like, the final issue of Invincible. This is an alien race that the Viltrumites... pretty much whatever they call assimilated. Yeah, took over, and there's been a back and forth between whether or not they're in control of them, that sometimes they recruit them, and it's just a cool race that like it's kind of like the go-to race for the Viltrumites to be abusing, and they always use the same one. So yeah, Oliver starts running out of oxygen and he can't breathe. Mark yells at him, tells him to fly down to that planet's surface. Conquest punches Mark and goes after Oliver.
Oh my god, this part was terrifying.
Do you remember just trying to breathe?
Yeah.
So Mark flying after him. I love that panel of you see the blood streaking across Mark's face.
Yeah, because he's going so fast from his eye, his nose, his mouth.
And just that reaching out for Conquest's foot, and you see Oliver just gasp for air as soon as he enters the atmosphere.
Oh my gosh, so amazing.
And then Conquest and Mark slam right into the ground. And then there's the moment where...
Could you imagine how something like that is going to look, either animated or live action?
I know.
Like how that is so fucking perfectly drawn and choreographed in these panels. Just like
they have storyboards right here. You know what I mean? Like stick to this. Like they have the fight choreography pretty much down.
Done. It's
like,
done. Yeah.
Fight in space. Hopefully they go to have that moment where they can get to the nearest planet for oxygen. Like that's a cool concept. So then Mark puts his hands around Conquest's throat and
brings him back out into space.
Well, I think
doesn't he?
It's either him or Conquest. No, Conquest flies him out into space because Mark says, "What is that supposed to do? I got a breath."
Oh, okay, yeah.
Conquest again, just cracking shit, saying that I'm changing the order. It looks like you'll be first instead of Oliver. The rest of this is just pretty much just Mark and Conquest.
So we'll just go
which is crazy.
We'll just go to the page. So it's Mark has Conquest by the throat,
and that's where he has him the rest of this fight.
And he says, you know how Conquest says, you know how easily I can make you let go, and Invincible says, I'm not letting go. And then Conquest punches him, and you can see the ribs come out the back of his.
God.
But
the back of his
I feel
suit.
like it would be like not as bad if you literally saw the bones poke through, but seeing the bone like points, like the bones stick through, but they don't pierce his skin or go through the costume, makes it worse somehow.
Yeah.
Ugh.
And then he does the same thing to the other side of his ribs.
Oh.
He does it twice, and then he punches him right in the chest. It's
back and forth. It's both hands.
And there's a shot of Conquest's face that's like separate from itself on the page and like breaks through. It's like I don't know how to explain it.
Blood
but
splatter on the page.
His
too.
eyes are turning white. He's like in serious pain. Like
can't breathe.
Yeah, he can't breathe.
Oh God! I just noticed something for the first time ever. Literally for the first time ever. So you got what you're talking about, right, on the bottom left-hand corner of the page where he's strangling him, and then the next page, you turn the page, half a page, Mark gets Viltrumite punched through the stomach.
Yep, and you see the bones.
Viltrumite
the bones.
punch.
The ribs. Look at the ribs. See how? Remember how we said we couldn't see the ribs? Well, now they're poking through.
Yeah, he pushed them
Man,
through.
that's fucking brutal. Mark said not enough.
Like that's
And
not enough.
continues.
His hand is literally coming out of the back of him. There's literally a hole in his stomach.
Conquest's face is turning purple.
There's a hole in my stomach. Death becomes her.
Oh.
Death becomes her.
So like meanwhile, like right here where you're seeing, where they're like this fight is being dragged across the planet's surface, because you're seeing Conquest's face turn purple. He's holding him down, pinning him up against the ground, and then you see Conquest like he reaches into him, right?
He reaches. So as Mark is strangling him,
his hand goes back like into the hole, and there's just guts. It's one of the grossest things ever in this entire comic.
It is really.
And I feel when I was rereading this for this, I don't think we brought this up during our gore episode.
I don't think so either.
We overlooked this.
Yes.
When I looked at it, I was like, how did we not bring this up?
I forgot that he Viltrumite punched him.
Yeah.
I forgot that he did that to Mark.
Right. But if we can turn the next page, this is actually the grossest scene ever.
But not even that. But there's the 2-page spread of the zigzag, like just like them like flying through
it's just
the
a
canyon.
Mountain.
And it just creates this...
And it just shows the zigzag like
the
right
carve.
inside of...
And then the last page. Ugh.
Oh my God. Look at... Okay, so Conquest, Mark's laying there huffing and then says help. And his intestines are out, completely out. And Conquest's robotic hand is still squeezing onto his fucking intestines, and they're coming in out like in between his. He's dead. Conquest is dead. This is when he died.
Yeah, he's purple. His tongue is sticking out.
Oh my gosh! Look at the light, like the, and that's one thing that's cool. So during on Ryan Ottley's commissions, TJ, you got your jam piece, right?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
You don't want to talk about it.
Go ahead.
No?
Yeah. Talk about
okay. All right. How he's like adding the white to like show reflective surfaces and stuff like
or
that.
It even looks like spit sometimes.
Yeah, and he like that. Look at that's what he uses in this. Like I'm seeing it on the intestines. Like it's that white that makes it look like it's got that shimmer.
When he added so I'm doing a commission where I'm having him add a character every time I see him, and he actually added a whole bunch of white
to ones he already did.
To when I saw him this time, he was to Invincible and Conquest that he had already done.
Issue 73. Thetis.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
Okay, so it's THAE, Thay, right?
Yeah.
DUS, Dus.
Thaddeus.
Thaddeus.
Clearly it's
Obviously,
Thaddeus.
it's fucking Thaddeus.
Thaddeus. We added...
Thaddeus. We added EUS to it.
No, all we did, we put the E on the other side of the
exactly.
D.
That's what we
all
did.
we did was move an E.
That's what we did.
That's not too
I
bad.
knew that too. I mean,
we did
once I realized it.
We did it THADEUS. Thaddeus.
So with
Thetis.
So it's now they're on Telescria. It says the planet Telescria, secret headquarters of the coalition of planets. It's the captain of the ship.
It's the Picard.
It's the Picard talking about how they don't know
what happened to
what happened to like and Thetis. That's really hard. Is like, how could you do that? They're the linchpin to this plan. Like, you have no idea.
It's much easier.
Do you think that Robert Kirkman, and we should have asked him this, maybe knowing that the rereader was coming up, is he a fan of Star Trek?
He has to be.
Because every time that these guys are in this comic, they're just being laid into. Like, he's
yes,
just
yes.
making fun of how ridiculous they are.
So you're saying, is he a fan or does he hate Star Trek?
Yeah, does he either like love it to the point of making fun of it, or does he just like despise it?
Yep.
I wonder.
I love it every time they show up. So we see on the Viltrumite ship that Tech Jacket has used the Tech Jacket to seal himself and Alan up against it. Zach even says, I saw this in a movie once. It's a Millennium Falcon reference.
Yes.
Yeah. Star Wars. Nolan makes a monument in Barry's conquest. Explains to Oliver that, in a way, he's a better man than him for following the Viltrum way and for staying true to them.
And Conquest is dead. Like, we know this.
He is dead.
He's done.
Yeah. It's not to say we don't see him again.
True. But he's done.
Yes.
This Conquest
is dead.
Is dead.
And then we see Mark with the, which is cool. It's his cape. It
is Nolan's cape. He tore it off. It's torn off when he's flying around.
Yeah, he says that. He says, my cape will keep him together.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So it's that, for some reason, I always see this image and think that it's bloody. You know what I mean? But it is bloody, but it's the red cape. So yeah, Mark's going to be out for months, Nolan says. And Oliver's like, well, what being stranded, what's not bad about this? Like, what are we going to do? And Nolan's like, well, it'll give us enough time to get to know each other better.
Such a good, Nolan.
Yeah.
Gosh,
he's a good guy.
The character arc.
But this next page, though.
This next page.
So, back in issue, Jesus.
56.
Did I say 56?
Normally I'm good at this.
I don't remember. It was an Alan and Nolan one shot.
Yeah.
It was when they broke out of prison.
When they broke out of prison, Alan released Battle Beast, which we don't know how Battle Beast ended up in that prison. That's one of those unanswered questions.
And they also just left him in space.
Well, exactly.
Right.
He went after a Viltrumite and continued to fight him off in the distance. And then we never saw him again. So here we see a Viltrumite with a chunk taking out of his head, floating in space.
Torn in half.
And this and torn in half. And this alien ship approaches and pulls Battle Beast back into their airlock. And he's frozen and enormous. And he's just like a cat that's just gotten all like all the hair stand up on its back, and he's just more
crazy. Fucking Battle Beast.
And so Thetis is
55. I said 56.
Oh, that's really fucking close. It was a good job.
Nice.
Good job, though. It's within the realm of error.
Did I scare you a bit?
A little bit. I was like, holy
Yeah.
shit. So Thetis is sitting in his chambers, and he's looking at the Scourge virus that he had previously told Nolan about. Who did he tell?
Yeah, he Nolan. Wait, does he?
Or was it
Alan?
No, it's Nolan. It's in a Corey Walker issue when him and Alan are doing
in the
their
last
adventures.
reread. Yeah.
And he's looking at that, and he goes up and he talks to these two, like, I don't know, what do you call them? They're like messengers.
They're the ones that like.
The one is
they seem like they're in charge of communication.
Yeah,
like
it's like communication and all that kind of
Minority
stuff.
Report. That's what they remind me of.
And he gives them the
Seers.
he gives them the go ahead to begin the assault. So basically, begin the attack on the Viltrum Empire. So they know of certain outposts where the Viltrumites are, and they've got a few things. They've got liquid or acid or whatever you call it from the beetles on that one planet that can hurt Viltrumites, and they lace their weapons with that stuff. So a lot of their blasts and weapons stuff can potentially hurt some Viltrumites. So anyways, they begin the attack on this on the Viltrumites. Meanwhile, Oliver and Nolan are on the alien planet. They have a great scene where Oliver's like, I'm not eating that. The next panel, he's chowing down on it.
And wants more.
Yep.
And it looks disgusting. Mm-hmm. It looks like they're eating it raw.
Yeah, it's like lobster. Just
like lobster.
like lobster.
That's rude.
What?
Haluma.
We'll get to that.
Oh, well, yeah, I know, because he says that. But look at the claw that they're eating it out of. Like,
Yeah.
it's kind of like that. Zach is excited that he's starting to grow a beard.
Oh my gosh, this is amazing. Yeah, the panel is a close-up of his face, and
And
looks
there's,
like TJ's beard. In case anyone wants to know what TJ's facial hair
I
looks like.
shave. I shave completely.
Look at it. Look how awesome it is.
Yeah, he's got a little flex. But there's a rumble, and the cavalry has arrived. It's several coalition ships along with Space Racer.
Ooh, you almost said Speed Racer.
No.
You were close.
No.
Maybe I was in my head.
Yeah, you probably heard.
Yeah.
Again, flash to them feeding Mark the guts. Yeah.
Yeah, Nolan says just the moisture. We don't want him choking on anything. Just keep him hydrated. It's disgusting.
Great moments between Oliver and Nolan here. Like, Oliver's asking, like, did you really love Debbie? And Nolan says, I know I do. It took me months of healing in a Viltrumite prison to realize it. But yes, I do. We have affection, the Viltrumites, but we don't care for each other like humans do. So it's really cool how he goes on it, and how, like, living on Earth has actually changed him, and and whether or not it was fate that he met her. Let's see. Had to go back to being a Viltrumite. Time. Yeah, I knew that when I made a mistake, but I'd already gone too far. It was too late. Yeah, Nolan's showing a lot of remorse and everything like that. I feel like this issue was really, like, I remember when Liz and Brittany read it for the new reader. Up to this point, they still didn't like Nolan. He didn't redeem himself for them. I feel like this issue. Oh yeah, they hated him for a long time.
Wow.
I don't even know if this issue even did it for them, but I feel like this issue did a lot in the way of helping to redeem Nolan, especially when it comes to Debbie.
Yeah.
Alan and Tech Jacket are back to the coalition. Theta says that he's gonna need their help. Tech Jacket nervously says he's growing a beard.
He goes on. So Thetis goes on this really long, like, spiel that's all technical and stuff, and there's Alan and Tech Jacket in the background, and Zach's just like, I'm growing a beard, and then the way that Alan looks at him, he says, but that's certainly not something I need to randomly bring up. I'm kind of nervous. I'll be totally ready to go to that planet. I won't lay you down. I'll shut up now. Like, it's what makes Zach so awesome, and I love how all of Kirkman's characters have that personality that are consistent throughout every single thing that they're in, no matter what.
Yeah.
I just feel like that's so hard to do,
Mm-hmm.
Like, to give somebody a personality and
And
then
that's something
write that
that comes
personality.
with having a long form series that keeps a consistent writer. You know what I mean?
Yes,
if you have a series like Spider-Man or something where you're changing out writers or changing out, whoever, it's hard to get that.
Right. People try.
And that's one of the things that we love most about Invincible is the cohesiveness of it.
And I think maybe now that we think about it, all of Robert Kirkman's books. You know what I mean? Because it's just consistent throughout, like, all the characters.
Yeah.
Throughout Oblivion Song, Die Die Die. Oh, we didn't talk about Die Die Die, but yeah. So Nolan and Oliver just hunting for more.
Yep, they talk about how his aging is slowed down, and that he should have a long life ahead of him. He's still enjoying eating them. Oliver says he thinks he's actually gaining weight. This is all intercut with Alan and Tech Jacket, like, fighting a war.
Right.
And so it cuts back to, I love this moment.
Oh my God, this
Oliver
is so perfect.
and Nolan, and, like, Oliver's telling Nolan
him.
about how he's like, all the time. I'm telling you, it's all the time. They know I'm in the house. It's crazy. I know I don't have super hearing, but sheesh, it's awful.
And he just laughs.
He's talking about even Mark. Yeah.
It's so funny. Alan and Tech Jacket fighting or utilizing Ragnar's. Nolan says that Mark's spine is almost healed and it'll be another month before he's ready. And then just more, training, fighting with Oliver, getting stronger, and Thetis talking with Tech Jacket and Alan about how the war is going. And then this issue ends with Mark starting to wake up, and then we find out who the mole in the coalition is. So those two communications guys One of them is speaking directly to Thrag.
And is this the first time we ever see Thrag?
No.
Are you sure?
Yes.
The first time we see Thrag?
When did we see Thrag last?
He was like the end of a...
I mean, I guess you're not that wrong. For some reason, I thought it wasn't. This would be the first time you'd see Thrag if you didn't read Invincible Returns.
Yeah.
The last reread that we did...
Yeah, but we saw him in Invincible Returns when
yeah.
he came back with the new suit.
Well, no.
We saw him last time we talked.
Yes,
last episode.
The last issue we read in the last episode was Conquest kneeling before Thrag, and you see him.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, yeah, that's when he flies
says,
back. Yep.
Yeah, and he says, go intercept the ship. Which
right.
This is how we found out about it. It is interesting to think, though, without Invincible Returns, you're right. This would be the first appearance of Thrag.
But I mean, Invincible Returns was.
It was not a one shot in any sense.
It is still considered canon, but it is not a number.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's still a big part of the story.
Yeah.
It wasn't like...
Yeah, even though half of it is recap.
That's a bigger part of the story than issue 41 was, when 41 was literally just recap.
I agreed.
Issue
74. It starts with Thetis speaking to everyone on the coalition, like all the leaders of the coalition. On Telestria. He's basically telling all of them that they they lost their best fighters. That Nolan, Mark, and Alan and all them, or Nolan and Mark are gone, and Oliver.
And Oliver, yeah.
Yeah. But while he's talking to all of them, which, by the way, you see, what's her face? You see Mock.
Oh, yeah. You see Mock, and next to her, you see the,
yeah.
She's the one who wants to take over the coalition.
I can't remember her name right now, but yes, her. You see a Galdarian. You see one of the guys from the species on the ship, on the Star Trek ship.
Yep.
You see a Unopen. Yeah. Yeah. Cool character designs on some of these too. There's a loud crashing noise, and Anissa has flown through the Capitol building for the Coalition. Craig is up there too. The Viltrumites have brought the war to the Coalition. Oh, hi, Oliver. Let's see. This is the moment where Oliver talks about how he doesn't find many people on Earth attractive.
I really like this. He talks about, he says, I'm still young by their standards. Not many human kids that are currently my age have relationships of some kind. It's just their parameters are attraction. Their parameters of attraction are so narrow. He says that he can see them being attractive, but he's not necessarily just attracted to that. Yeah. And I love how he's like, he said, and this plays a big part in his story moving forward, is Mom took me to a seafood restaurant one time, and I had a crab and
or a lobster,
and I ate it, but it was beautiful.
Yeah,
I thought it was beautiful. And then
this great. Nolan, I love this line.
Nolan says,
he
says,
right
where is
there.
it? There are some girls I could introduce you to on Telestria. The daughter of a woman who lives next to me in my building has a similar appearance.
Like,
have you enjoyed your
Is he talking about Huluma?
He's talking about Huluma's mother.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Right?
He would have to be, yeah.
The daughter of the woman who lives next to me. Yeah. So Nolan lived next to Huluma's mother.
Huh.
And that's how he got introduced to Huluma.
What a small world.
We're assuming. But yeah, isn't that crazy? Mark is awake. Mark stands up, says, "Where's Conquest? Did you kill him?" And they said, "No, you did." Oliver says, "You kicked his ass." We see Alan walking in on Zach sleeping with a blue alien. And Alan says, "I thought you had a girlfriend, that Galdarian girl." And Zach explains that this was their idea. They decided to see separate people. We don't have compatible parts. Remember all this?
Yeah. And then Alan was like, please stop saying the things that come into your head first when you talk to me.
Oh my God, I love it.
Mark's at Conquest's grave. He talks about how he was so scared to fight during that fight, and Nolan tells him that you had rage, you had adrenaline, you were more invested in the fight. Conquest acted like a spectator to his own fight.
I just want to say first that this version of Mark, I love this version of Mark.
Bearded Mark?
Not just that, but I love any time that a superhero is in costume but has their mask off. I don't know why, but I've always loved that.
Yeah.
So he's got his mask off and he's got the beard and he's all torn up. I love how he looks here.
Yeah, he looks badass.
And I do like the beard.
Yeah, the beard is cool. And of course, not able to grow a mustache, though.
It's there a little bit.
Yeah, it's definitely there.
A little bit.
A little bit.
It's not a full-on
Right.
Viltrumite mustache, though. Nolan says it's time to join the fight. Mark is upset, of course, that he had to kill someone because he didn't want to do that anymore. But Nolan's like, this is war. So, recently, on this podcast, I made the comment, or it was during the trivia. Either way, I made the comment that I didn't remember whether or not
Don't let him catch it.
Thetis was the one that killed Lord Argyll.
Uh-huh.
And I said I don't remember whether or not he actually did.
And I think he did.
And you thought he did.
Right.
For the next, two issues.
Say that again?
Thetis, did he kill Lord Argyll?
And you said he did?
I think he did, yeah.
Did we not talk about this on Invincible
just-
Trivia? And I said that he did, and you guys both yelled at me and said no.
I was Bill agreed with you. I was the one that I wasn't sure.
Did not
Yes, I
agree
did.
with me in your life. In your life.
Either way, for the next
I'm going to go back and rewatch it.
For the next several pages, issues even, they make it so abundantly clear that Thetis killed him.
Yeah.
They flat out say it multiple times.
I swear you disagreed with me.
How did I forget
Are you
that?
sure?
You did.
How did I forget that? Anyways, the next image is Thrag sitting there looking at the skull of Argyll, talking about how for thousands of years we reigned opposed in the galaxy until Thetis, the betrayer on Earth, and his son all started with Thetis and his betrayal. He's the progenitor of this sorry state.
Of this betrayal.
With Thetis dead and the coalition in disarray, this war will be over and we will have our victory, and you, my liege, will be avenged. They make it very clear.
That doesn't necessarily say that he killed him. He said that he was
There's more.
Oh.
There's more.
But wait.
It happened several times. Thetis is crawling through the wreckage of the building, saying that the traitor, it was you.
And jacked like a mother, dude.
So jacked.
Look at that. Jeez, man.
And so he starts going after one of those alien communications guys. General Craig stops him and starts beating the shit out of him. They start fighting. Craig gets shot in the back of the head by Tech Jacket. Him and Alan show up. Tech Jacket then gets intercepted by Anissa, who starts to crush him, and his suit is saying that exterior pressure at 90%, breach imminent. Thetis helps him. Thetis helps him. There's just a lot of fighting going on. And then, out of nowhere, Nolan, Oliver, and Mark show up. They join the fight. Anissa tells them to pay attention when someone kills you. Nolan goes right towards Anissa, punches her in the face. Mark says he'll help, with the fight, but he has to do something first. Him and Oliver fly straight ahead and fly through the Viltrumite ship, destroying it, causing the skull to go flying away from Thrag, and then there's a somewhat funny moment where then they have to go and catch the ship that they just broke into two parts. So there's a few of them lifting the ship and pushing it into space. Thrag grabs the skull and flies into space along with the other Viltrumites.
We missed my favorite splash page of this trade.
Yeah, that's
I love this trade, or this splash page, with all three of them.
Again, it's Mark looking cool like the way you like him. It's
all tattered up.
Oliver looking goofy
But just their positioning, like how Ottley did it, like with Nolan's arms outstretched, but you could still see the other two, like just how it's positioned. I love this page.
Yeah. The Viltrumites retreat into space. And then the issue ends with those two communication guys. One of them calling the other one a traitor. He shoots him in the head, And like, you know, I love the line that, you know, we shared a brain and stuff like that. But then the traitor says there's nothing that you can do. It doesn't matter. They said that they would reconvene on the planet Viltrum to stage a counterattack. You don't stand a chance. They're all going there. All of them. It's over. That brings us to issue 75.
Issue 75.
This one actually has a 2-page, or a wraparound cover, I should say, which is an unfortunate thing when it comes to digital, physical, trade paperbacks, hardcovers, compendiums. The only way that you could see this full image that's amazing looking, one of the best covers in the entire series, is by getting the original cover. You know?
This cover is one of the only covers that I have signed by like the most creators. Like, I mean, it's tough to get the inker and, like, you know, but I have it signed by.
I'm surprised he wasn't at New York Comic Con. Apparently he's gone like the last few years. It would have been awesome to see Rathburn.
Kirkman, Ottley, Ransom Getty. I swear there was another one too.
Yeah.
Was on this, but yeah.
I mean, it would be FCO, but
no, it wouldn't have been
that. So it starts with the badass looking Thetis giving his pre-war speech, and then a really, really cool 2-page splash of our heroes, including Battle Beast, who has joined the fight. They're on their way to the planet Viltrum, and Mark talks to Nolan about how he's scared, and Nolan tells him that that's just war. Nolan says that what's his name? Space Racer is picking something up, and it's going to be a surprise. And they leave the ship, heading towards the planet Viltrum, and you see Thula
hiding in the rings,
hiding among the bodies. Mm-hmm. And so
that's awesome. That they're just the rings are just the bodies of dead people.
Mm-hmm. And so she reaches out and attacks Thetis with her hair blade. And
fucking Battle Beast
immediately
clubs her in the face.
I love how Battle Beast is the only one with an oxygen mask. It's so funny.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't have it very long, but
I mean, he survived out in space.
Mm-hmm.
Well, technically, Space Racer has an oxygen mask too. He has a helmet.
True.
Mm-hmm.
And tech jacket.
So
but they look the same, is what I'm getting at.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So Thrag and several Viltrumites show up, and I mean, what follows is an incredible fight. Space Racer shows up with a bunch of Ragnars.
What does that remind you of? I'm dragging. Come on, man. Yeah? Well, I'm dragging.
I don't know. What is
Mines. What movie?
Mines. Yes. Shoot.
It's Tim Allen. Galaxy Quest.
Yep.
That's what it reminds me of.
You're right.
Oh my god, look at the Ragnar just chomping on that freaking Viltrumite's head.
Mm-hmm. By the throne of Argol. It's just funny. Tech Jacket's getting his ass kicked. Alan shows up to help him, punches the Viltrumite's head clean off, and then another Viltrumite comes towards him. And one of the craziest, goriest, grossest moves in this entire series, Alan punches a Viltrumite in the ribs, and his hand comes out the guy's mouth. And then over the next several pages, you see Alan in the background wearing this guy like a bracelet, and then at one point has to like slide him off. It's really gross.
Oh, he does have him still on in the background.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's wearing them for a little while. Oliver punches one in the balls. Says your balls are inferior, jerk face.
One thing that we overlooked earlier, because we're trying to just kind of like roll through it, but when they first met, when Oliver first met Conquest in Space, he said, "Hey, a black hole called, and they want their suck back."
He wants it sucked back. Yep.
I love that line. It's a good line.
This is the first time Mark meets Thrag. Thrag's going on about the glory of the Empire and all that, and Mark shows up and says, "Oh, can it, moron? who are you anyway? And Thetis is like, no, somebody stop Invincible. He doesn't. And Mark continues to try and fight Thrag, and Thrag just backhands him. Oliver shows up. No, this is when he says it. Oliver shows up and says, hey, dickhead, a black hole called. It wants its sucked back.
Oh, it was here.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Thrag catches his punch and says, you are the funny one, I gather. Always cracking jokes. Very good.
Oh
I enjoy a joke myself. Stop me if you've heard this one.
Turn the page.
And he holds onto one of his arms while punching his body off of it and breaking his jaw. So
like
his jaw,
like his jaw is just completely shattered.
Yep, there's tongue. His arm is ripped off. Oh my god, this is so insane.
Yeah.
He's a child.
He says, seems like such a nice boy. Mark yelling, you killed my brother, you killed my brother, going after Thrag, trying to beat him up. And he hits him several times. And he's like, well, that's something. You know you're in over your head. Even Conquest feared me. And then Mark tells him that I killed Conquest. And you see all the other Viltrumites reacting. Like, oh, that's what happened? Holy shit, he actually killed him? Nolan goes on to say, yes, it's true. We get to see Battle Beast enjoying himself. This is when Alan slides the guy off of his arm.
Ugh.
Right? And Thaddeus grabs as many as he can. He calls everybody to him and says, all of you with me now. Space Racer, fire your gun dead center now. And all of them are seen flying towards the planet. Tack Jacket gets pulled away by a Viltrumite. Then Alan gets pulled away by a Viltrumite till it's just Thaddeus. No. I feel like you guys got to give me a shot collar.
Thetis.
You guys got to punch me every time I say it. Thetis, Nolan, and Mark are flying towards the planet. And I love this moment. I love seeing...
The look?
Yes, the look. Because you see Nolan kind of... Nolan might be a little faster than Mark at this point. And he's pulling him by his
He's pulling
costume.
him along, yeah.
And then get the close-up of them just looking at each other. And it says, get ready. Now this, I love how Viltrum looks. Remember we've talked about in the past, the ring of bodies looking like there's so many of them?
Yeah.
I love this thin ring.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That just looks so cool. Man, these pages, the next 6, sets of pages are incredible. We see the planet crumbling and exploding. We see ships falling. We see statues. The statue of Lord Argal falling. And then a close-up.
Splash page of
fucking
the 3 of them.
Page of the 3 of them flying through the planet. Their clothes pretty much all gone because they just went through the core of the planet. And then the next... So there's two full 2-page... 3? Or 4?
Yeah, there's 4.
No, there's 8.
Well, 4 2-page splashes.
Right. Oh my god,
Isn't that
this
insane?
is so amazing.
And it's various stages of the planet exploding. You see the ring of bodies start to break apart.
And all the Viltrumites
And
attack
you see them
now.
still, you see the fight is still going on. They're attacking. Like they're fighting while the planet's exploding
outwards.
This is several minutes are passing. And then the explosion from the planet has caught up to them and it's knocking them away. You see whole chunks of cities.
Yeah.
You see the bodies from the ring catching up to them as they're being knocked out of frame.
Yeah,
and then
so
the
much.
aftermath after the explosion, and everybody's unconscious and drifting, and they're all mixed up between rubble and scourge virus killed bodies. It's incredible.
So everyone comes to.
Mm-hmm. Thrag is clearly overwhelmed. He says,
Oh my god.
You brought this upon us. It is you who set this in motion, carried it out. Thetis of Viltrum, betrayer. You have taken it all from us, our heritage, our home, our history destroyed. The Viltrum Empire will not stand for this. Thetis says, know this, whatever happens, you have no empire. Thrag says, you sicken me. There is nothing left but revenge. Ripping off Thaddeus' head. At long last, Lord Argal, you have been avenged. You will not be missed. And just crushes Thaddeus' head.
Thetis.
Thetises.
You just said Thaddeus again.
I know,
You
but I'm
said
trying to think of how
Thaddeus.
to say the plural of
Thetis's.
Thetis.
Thetis's head.
Would you say Thaddeus?
Thetis's.
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 Okay.
Thetis's head.
I don't like it. Battle Beast is unconscious. Mark is holding Oliver's seemingly dead body. Thrag says, grieve while you can, because I assure you, you are all next.
Oh my god.
That's how that issue ends.
Yep.
Is this the last issue of the trade?
No.
How many more?
It's a long one, dude.
I told
We're
you.
doing-
there's
we're doing okay on
there's
time
8
right
of
now,
them,
but-
and one of them's double sized.
Yeah.
Dang.
We got 3 more.
3 more issues?
Issues.
Holy shit.
Yeah, this is a
Too
big one.
much.
We got
This should have
this.
been
We're
a
still
two-parter.
We're still doing okay.
This should have been a two-parter.
So-
I wish they would have done. I mean, it would
So-
have made more sense to do like Viltrumite War Part 1, Part 2, like they do in the future. But we're trying to do it by trades.
Yeah.
I know.
But we could have done two-part. We
So
should've.
they fight, and then there's fighting,
All right.
fighting. And
Yeah,
then
a lot of
there's
this is-
fighting.
A lot of the rest is fighting. Thrag being, talking about how they've taken everything. Thrag was. Oh, and then Thrag says to Nolan, "You of all people side with Thetis, the great betrayer. Do you know why we kept his defection secret? Why he defected in the first place? It was he who murdered Lord Argyle." He was, like,
Do you guys think that it was Thetis who murdered
he
him?
brought about the dark times before I was called into power as regent.
Wait, listen. Straight from Invincible trivia.
I said
No, he's gonna say that. I disagreed.
was originally how did Lord Argyle die?
You're asking me?
Yeah, do you know? Would you have gotten that one?
Argyle wanted to do good things, and the Viltrumites.
Yeah, but
turned on him.
How did he die?
Oh,
Who's
Thaddeus killed him.
No.
No,
Didn't Thaddeus kill him?
Thaddeus is way
took
after.
off.
No, Thaddeus was after.
Thrag killed him.
I don't think we know who killed him. All we know, that's why I took
The end.
Oh.
Fuck you guys. You guys can leave my house.
To be fair, no one is named Thaddeus.
I knew somebody was going to say that.
So yeah, and then Thrag out even says we also believe he was behind the Scourge virus, which stole any hope of finding
Another thing we're saying
Yeah, I
wrong.
know. Any true heir to Argyle. He must have used his own DNA to help develop it. It's the only way. Battle Beast goes after Thrag. Thrag throws him into space.
I don't like this part.
Yeah.
He just grabs him like.
Yep. Do you
He's
see how
nothing.
bloody Alan is here?
The sound that he makes. Battle Beast.
Yeah, the
Like when he grabs him, he was so confident, and then he's
Yeah.
just like, fuck.
Yep.
Yeah,
There'll be a rematch.
Alan's arm is broken, and he's getting
The
his
blood
ass
splatter
handed to
on
him.
this page.
But to be fair, it is taking 4 Viltrumites to
There's 5 in that panel against
Yeah.
him. Battle Beast knocks them all back. Tech Jacket's falling unconscious. And then Space Racer shows up to help him, shooting a Viltrumite through the head, grabs Alan and Tech Jacket and flies away in retreat, saying that their Viltrumite friends will have to fend for themselves, basically, if they're still alive. Then what follows is Mark and Nolan fighting Thrag, and Mark saying, "How do we beat this guy?" Nolan saying, "We can't."
We can't.
He was bred for this.
He was born into training to take the place, to take their place as leader, and he's been trained in all forms of combat. We can't beat him.
Yep. Nolan says, "Mark, please know no matter what I've said, I've always loved you. I thought that made me weaker, but I know now that it made me stronger."
This was while Thrag is dragging both of them by the neck, saying, "Your dad's right. You can't beat me."
Yeah. Nolan kicks away Thrag's hand from Mark, tells Mark to fly away. Thrag catches up to him, breaks his nose.
Oh my god.
Nolan flies up to help, and
Viltrumite punch.
the second
Again.
one of this issue through Nolan's chest. Mark is unconscious. Nolan has his fingers on his eyeballs, about to squeeze his head. It's saying it's time, and then stops. Craig says no. We can't leave them alive. Thrag wants to keep them because we need all Viltrumites to help, repair our numbers. Says that believe me, if we're all to survive, we need all of us to survive, them above all others. And so they leave him floating in space until Download. That's his name.
Download, yeah.
Until the Star Trek spoof team show up to save them. Mark wakes up on the Coalition hospital.
Is this a call to Walking Dead?
Oh, that shot?
Him waking
The
up.
overhead wake up? Maybe.
I think it is.
I mean, if it was a one-page splash page, I'd say more so. But yeah, it looks similar. It's a good call.
I'm curious.
Alan has a broken arm. Mark's been out for a week. Alan has been made Grand Regent. Mark wants to go see his dad. His dad woke up recently. Nolan is fine. Oliver is in back to tank, just like in Star Wars. He's missing his jaw. He has a robotic hand, but he'll be fine. Tech Jacket shows up and reports that the Viltrumites have done nothing. Ever since the battle, they've been gone. There's no sign of them. They've left the galaxy completely. There's a cool 2-page headshot spread of Alan explaining it, that it doesn't make any sense. They don't know where they've gone. And then this issue ends with Mark coming to the realization that it's because the Viltrumites have gone to Earth. Because that would be a more painful death than just outright killing them. So, issue 77. One of my favorite issues in all of Invincible.
This is great, the intro.
Because it keeps happening. We see, like, I guess it's one of those things, like, I love really weird issues, things that do something different. And this one visually shows us what Mark is, what's going through his head, like his fear. Like, we never see anything like that before, you know? We're getting glimpses into his fears.
But we don't know that when it first starts.
Oh, no, which is part of why it's so cool.
Yeah.
So the opening page is the Pentagon just destroyed, Britt dead, Donald dead, and Thrag with Cecil by the neck. And Cecil is begging, saying, I can help you. I can help soften this. We can live together. Like, I can help you. We can coexist. And Thrag squeezes and chops his head off, saying, coexist? You turn the page, it's a 2-page splash of all the heroes being killed. Eve, Wolfman.
And again, you're thinking this is real.
Yeah, this is insane.
I mean, I think at this point, when you see Eve get chopped in half, you're like, maybe it's not real. Kid Thor has his hammer's handle through his skull.
Mm-hmm. And then you just turn, and it's just Mark with his head up against the wall.
Love it.
And Nolan saying, Mark, you need to rest. It's very cinematic, right?
Yeah.
God, seeing this in an animated series episode.
Oh, yeah.
You know they're going to do that. Like, how cool is that? Nolan saying you need to calm down. And they're trying to get to Earth as fast as they possibly can. Alan and Talia are back on the Coalition. Alan is concerned about the Viltrumites and his friends, but above all else, he misses his friend Tech Jacket.
Yeah, as you should.
Who is trying to talk to Nolan and Mark on the ship about what their plan is for when they get to Earth, but they're both ignoring him. He calls them. He says, "You guys suck." Funny moment. Let's see. Okay, you're worried about him. These damn human emotions. Like Nolan again confronting with the emotions of like what he's feeling and betraying his own Viltrumite, upbringing. He's talking to Mark, but then Mark's not listening. Mark's looking off out the window, and you turn the page and you see what Mark is envisioning, and it's Thrag killing Debbie and her boyfriend.
Mm-hmm. I like how he's holding her by, like, I don't know,
the hole in her.
Yeah, the hole in her head. Yeah, the hole in her neck. It's crazy. Ryan Ottley, man, I know. Swear,
no,
she's got a fucked up brain, and I love it.
Nolan is telling Tech Jacket how what's going to happen when they arrive on Earth, but the alert comes on saying they're about to enter Earth's atmosphere. Mark immediately just flies out of the ship, flies to Earth. Breaks through the clouds, flies through the city, and is looking around, and he's confused. And Nolan catches up. He says, "You don't see anyone, do you?" And they're like, "They don't see anyone. They're not here. They're not here." And then you turn the page, and it's Thrag saying, "We very much are here." Mark threatens him. Thrag says, we've done nothing to this planet. You can either listen, we can either talk, or we'll fight. It's up to you. And they're like, okay, we'll talk. Thrag says, wise choice. I've come with you with a truce. There are exactly 37 of us. That is enough to tear this planet in half, killing every creature, and there's nothing you can do to stop it. He knows that this is a war they can't survive, so he's offering their surrender under one condition. You took our planet, now we're going to take yours. We're already here and we're not going to leave. Mark's saying, you're insane, there's no way. Thrag says, before you overreact, notice that you couldn't make us leave even if you wanted to. What I propose is this: we'll live among you. The people of Earth will not know we're even here. You will not know we're even here. You'll have no contact with us, and your presence will not be known. We will not attack you, but we also not help you. My people will blend in, live as humans, with humans, and we will intermingle and interbreed. This is the only way to ensure the survival of our people. We will restore our ranks over the course of thousands of years. Our children and our children's children, they will swell with the infusion of human DNA. You will allow our time for our numbers to restore. This is how things must be. And I'll have your answer now. Do not make me destroy what could be our only hope for survival. I love this.
Yeah.
I love
it's
this.
Really smart.
It's so smart. Like it's a perfect like whatever you call it. Like
it's not the way that you see
agreement.
a normal like battle or fight or conflict ending in a comic. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
To end
Especially
it like almost a
something-
stalemate. It's a stalemate. It's a Mexican standoff.
Especially
Yeah.
a war that was so brutal.
Yeah, TJ.
So Mark is saying, I refuse, I can't live like that, knowing that you're there, knowing that everybody's at risk, I can't do this, I won't, no, my answer is, and then you see, again, what's going through his mind,
flash, yeah,
with
if
the
he
flash
says
of
no.
destruction and what they do, and he says, my answer is yes. So good! Love this issue. All right, final
All done?
issue. Final issue. One more. Beautiful cover. Issue 78. Thrag says, you have chosen wisely. Ironically, by making this decision, you have become the saviors of our people, or you very well have been. Mark says, my God, what have I done? Thrag flies away. Tech Jacket shows up, excited that the war is over. They're not sticking around. He calls them jerks. Debbie hangs up on Paul. You see her screaming at him through the phone. They've broken up. She wants him to come pick up his box of stuff. She sees Mark and Nolan. She's excited to see them. Where's Oliver? Nolan explains that he's fine. Asks who Paul is. And Debbie says, Mark, you should go see Eve. She's not doing so well. Mark is holding hands with Debbie. Mark flies away. Debbie and Nolan have a nice moment where, he kind of calls her out, asking about who this other companion is, or other mate. And she's like, how many bug people did you sleep with? She says that it's an ex-boyfriend. Cecil barges in through his teleporter, immediately shoots Nolan, which is very reminiscent of Talia doing the same thing.
Yeah. The smoke coming off of his face, like, and he's just like, nice to see you again, Cecil.
It's a reflex. So does this mean the war is over? Mark flies in through Eve's room. He says, I'm back. I'm here. Finally, everything can go back to normal. Eve says, stop. Don't come any closer. He turned the page and she has gained weight. She says, I don't want you to look at me. And he says, I love you, Eve. I've been waiting almost a year for this. And she says, I can't believe you're here. Oh, my God. So you see Cecil approach a door in the Pentagon, opens up, says, okay, everybody pack it up. We're not going to need pretty much any of this. The war is over. And you see a splash page of all the Invincible, Reanimen, and Reanimen, with D.A. Sinclair saying, bummer. Tech Jacket goes back to his dad. They're both, at the same time, excited that each other grew a beard. They have such a great relationship.
Zach's dad with a beard kind of looks like Robert Kirkman.
Yeah, a little bit. I can see it. Eve explains how she's had Bulletproof helping, and she got her powers back. She said that she saved up enough money they could build a house if she wanted to. We find out that it's been 10 months and that Mark lost track of time. Eve reveals to him that she thought he was dead. She never thought he'd see him again. Great moment there. Nolan and Debbie kind of make up a little bit. She freaks out saying that, I'll never forgive you for it. I don't have to understand a thing you say. You ruined my life, you son of a bitch. And she just kind of breaks down crying. It's a very emotional issue. And she just wishes everything can go back to the way it was before. And Nolan says, no, things will never go back to the way before because I will never lie to you again.
Oh, Nolan.
Eve is at William's house. Haven't seen William in forever.
It's been a time.
William and Rick's house, because Rick is walking out the door. William says, bye, Rick, love you. Eve says, that explains so much about our relationship.
The look on her face, like the
shock.
The distant look, yeah.
And he says, behave. And William asks, he said, did you tell him? And Eve says, William, I don't know how, as she starts to cry.
And we don't know.
We don't know what it is.
We know that she was pregnant. The last time we saw her, she was pregnant.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Going back to William, though, this is the best thing about William.
Yeah.
This is the coolest thing to happen with William.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like she said, it does make sense.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that he chose to do this.
Yeah.
That Kirkman chose to make him gay. I like that.
I think they're gonna. I'd like to think that with the.
And with Rick, too.
I want
that's perfect.
Because obviously they're not going to do the "this is so gay" trope, that awful joke.
Of course not.
I'd like to think that he'll be gay from the beginning in the animated series.
I hope he's not. Because
I hope he's not. Yeah. I hope he's not either, because we talked about it when we did a reread where you could see their chemistry right off the bat, like when he was doing the tour around the college and stuff like that. Where they do kind of have a little bit of a.
Okay, no, I get that.
Not only that, but I kind of want William to be even a little bit more sleazy than he is in the comic. You know what I mean? Talking about girls, which he does in the beginning, here and there. But I want it to be almost over exaggerated.
Yeah, but
not,
he
not
was
ridiculous amount.
He was like bachelors, yeah.
I that's what I want in the show too, in the animated.
If he was gay from the beginning, it would make his character growth mean less. I think that it means more that he. Because, it was a natural progression. It's not like, oh, we have to make this character gay or we need a gay character, so he's gay. It really felt normal, the way that he and Eve acted, the way that him and Rick acted. So I think that he should start,
quote
unquote, straight. Start straight. He's always been gay.
But he is gay, yeah.
Right.
So Mark flies through the sky, says that the war is over, but we didn't win. Then the final 2 pages is Alan receiving a letter from Thetis. Of course, after learning that after Kirkman tells us that it's pronounced Thetis and not Thaddeus, we have to read a whole volume where I have to say Thetis 50 times. He receives a letter from Thetis saying, if you're reading this, I am dead, and gives him the directions and tells him about the scourge virus and where it is. Say that it's a stronger strain. It's perfected. It will not fail this time. If the war effort appears lost, I urge you to use it. Ignore your attachments to our Viltrumite allies. For the good of the universe, eradicate all Viltrum life forever. Whatever you do, make certain that I did not die in vain.
Love
Thetis. And that does it for volume 14 of Invincible.
Oh, it's a big one.
Yep. TJ, I'm going to ask that you pull up an email that we have. We're going to be wrapping up. We don't have too much time to go over other stuff. We have to record the Oblivion Song podcast.
There was... The cover to this trade is my favorite cover to all the trade paperbacks.
Yeah.
It's of Invincible flying upward, and on one half it has all the Viltrumites, and on the other half it has all the heroes. And I remember years ago when this was available on Ryan Ottley's personal store, and it was $2,000.
Oh my God.
But I kind of regret just not saving up and getting it.
Really?
It's so good.
That's so expensive.
Good. That's crazy expensive. My commission is going to cost around that.
Probably about that much. But it's your own.
It's something that I commissioned myself. Okay, I'll bring up this email if I can locate it.
I've got one that I can bring up real quick while you're finding it.
I got it.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. James Kelly, we ended up meeting up with him, like we said before, at the Super Dinosaur panel in New York City. He said, "Hey, Invincible Podcast, it's James Kelly. It was really cool meeting all of you in person this year at New York Comic Con. Shame that we didn't get any Invincible news beyond some choice scraps," which I agree with. Still, maybe next year. In the meantime, hope you guys had a good con. I'd love to chat more with you guys. If you ever need a fan guest, especially if you're going to talk about Volume 20, please let me know. Love, James.
Awesome. Thank you, James. That was a really, really great getting to meet you in person. And yeah, we'll be in touch. Maybe we'll have you on for our when we do Volume 20 in 6
Which one is
episodes.
Volume 20? Is that
See, this is a prime example of what I'm talking about
Is
because
20 reboot?
I think it's reboot.
at the end is I think reboot maybe. I don't think it's reboots at
Because
the end
there's
of it.
24.
Reboot's at the end of it. What do you mean? At the
Like
end of
reboot
it?
would be the next.
No, because 25
Trade.
is. I think there's 25, so it's probably more than that. Look it up.
Anyways, what I was saying is that we wanted to sit and talk with James a little bit, but
yeah.
didn't he have to go to like another panel?
I think so.
Yeah.
We were talking for a little. Yeah. I've got a quick email from Dante. Dante says, "Hello, I just wanted to email you guys again to see if you guys have watched all of Amazon's The Boys adaptation, because I was curious if it gave you guys any idea about how Amazon might adapt Invincible. Do you guys know how many issues of the comic series The Boys adapts for its first season? Do they remix some elements? I thought it would be something interesting you guys could discuss on your podcast."
We didn't read enough. Ryan, you read I didn't read any.
I read a couple issues. I don't know if I ever finished the whole first trade or if I did.
Right.
It was pretty different. It was very different from what I remember.
Right.
But I want to say it would be the first trade.
I have a feeling because while watching The Boys, I did do like research.
Yeah.
Like I watched it and I was like, I Googled some stuff to see like what was different and like what certain scenes looked like or what happened. Like they changed what happened to certain characters like completely and like
I think that
involved
is,
other characters
and
I
stuff.
think that's a result of going from comic to live action. With Invincible, we're going from comic to animated, so I feel like it should be able to follow a little bit closer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's going to veer off.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah.
I think it's going to veer off a
You
lot.
gotta be prepared for that.
But I think it's all going to be good. I don't. That doesn't worry me knowing that.
Do you think it's going to veer off a lot?
I do. I do.
I don't know if it's going to veer off.
I think that the movie's
going to veer off a lot.
Yes.
I think that we talked about it where the animated show can do
has the ability to get
to do literally almost everything that the comic.
Yes, but we've also talked in the past about how these are hour-long episodes. Like, how long does it take you to read one issue?
No,
10
you're
minutes?
right. There is going to be more. There's going to be
tons more.
Yeah.
Did you find out what Volume 20 was?
Yes, it starts with the issue after Angstrom's death. So 109, but then it goes all the way.
109.
It goes all the way through
111, 110.
Exactly, 110, which is the controversial one.
Yeah.
And then you got Robots Takeover and all the deaths.
That is a huge one.
Yeah, and Robot with Adam Eve and all that shit.
Wow.
And Monster Girl, I think is that Monster Girl? That is, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
All that shit. Yeah.
Man,
So that's crazy.
That's probably one of my favorite trades as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. If we don't have enough time, we're going to be talking about we saw Joker. We're going to talk a little bit about that on the Oblivion Song podcast. As far as video games, I haven't been playing too much. Been playing a little bit of Ultimate Alliance, still some No Man's Sky, and then comic books. White Knight is awesome.
White Knight and Curse of the White Knight.
Yeah.
So
you actually caught up. You hadn't read any of it.
I hadn't read any of it. I read all of
White Knight.
White Knight, which was amazing. It's my
I'm
favorite.
So glad you finally.
It's
read
my
it,
favorite
man.
kind of Batman, where it's just like you don't have to read anything else. You can just read this one
Very
thing.
Self-contained.
And Curse of the White Knight, guys. Everyone knows probably that my favorite character is Azrael, like hands down, and he is a major part of Curse of the White Knight so far.
Yeah,
and
the
it
way
is
issue 2 ends,
fucking amazing.
Might I be honest for a moment?
Yes.
So far at this point of White Knight versus Curse of the White Knight, I very much enjoyed White Knight more than Curse.
I think I just have more of an attachment to Joker than I do Azrael. But I think they're both the same quality.
I think
but there's a lot going on in Curse to where it's almost getting a little convoluted right now. Like I'm ready for like things to start getting wrapped up, and then maybe some more mysteries or whatnot. But
I also love a lot of villains and the Harley Quinn reveal. And
the Harley Quinn was one of the smartest things I've seen. I read a lot of Batman. Like, I read a lot of fucking Batman. And that's one of the smartest things I've seen.
I'm sorry, but Harley Quinn with fucking Batman / Bruce Wayne in Curse of the White Knight, I don't want to spoil too much.
But that started in White Knight.
No,
all of that started in White Knight.
Yeah, I know their relationship started in White Knight, and I don't mean sexual relationship or anything like that. I just mean their interaction with one another. But what happened last
it's so good.
Was so fucking good between Batman and Harley Quinn.
So yeah, we're going to wrap it up. We got to record Oblivion Song Podcast right now. Remember, you can find us on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. Our outro song this week is done by Wyatt Layne. This one's called Thanks for Calling. And you know what? We got to give a shout out to the Nerds Chatting podcast. They do another type of show called Just Chatting, where it's just Nate sitting down with a guest, and they recently had Wyatt on their show.
Did they really?
It's a really good episode.
No shit.
You gotta listen to it. They talk about.
I read something about the Twitter where it was like kind of emotional. Didn't
the Twitter? You read it on the Twitter?
They talk about Final Space and Invincible and all this kind of stuff, and they talk about like the kind of music he listens to and how
cool we are.
Yeah. I mean, we come up a couple times.
Do we really?
Oh yeah.
Oh shit! I gotta listen to it.
and like how he gets the inspiration for his music and how he goes about developing songs. He's a teacher. Like, there's some really cool stuff we learn more about Wyatt.
We know a lot of teachers.
We do.
Weird.
So yeah, you can find Wyatt's music over on SoundCloud, iTunes, and Spotify. We'll be back hopefully with our regularly scheduled program at the first Friday of every month next month.
This episode and our last episode have both been a week late.
I know. Last week...
We gotta get our shit together.
We'll be back on it.
And if you want to join us in our nightmare, just go ahead and hit play on the Oblivion Song podcast and listen straight through that.
Right into that one.
You could hear our tones start to slow down.
Everybody, thanks for listening. We're gone. Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Adult Amanda is very attractive.
I think I'm gonna have to disagree with Bill.
Only slightly.